Hello everyone, welcome to the next round of Bookish Blossoms. My name is Katie, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be rolling new prompts for me to figure out what I'm going to be reading for February. But first I have two rule changes. The first rule change that I want to explain is the idea of giving myself punishments and rewards. I have made two jars. For example, this is the rewards jar. Every month, I am going to be pulling a reward or punishment depending if I finished my prompts for the month or not. I have completed all of my prompts for the month of January, so I'm going to be pulling a reward out of the reward jar. Let's see what reward I get.
Close my eyes. Okay.
Mood read. Okay, cool. What this reward means is that let's say hypothetically, I roll a mystery thriller prompt and I don't feel like reading a mystery thriller in February. I can substitute that prompt and read whatever I want to, whatever I'm in the mood to read instead. The second rule change I have is that in the beginning of the month, I obviously pick certain books. I picked them, I put them in my previous video and said, I got this prompt and this is the book that I'm going to read to fulfill that prompt. Well, I am at heart a mood reader. I really don't like being told what to read. You're probably wondering, Katie, if you don't like being told what to read, why are you playing this game? I'm playing this game because if I only read whatever felt good in the moment, I don't feel like I would ever push myself into new genres or to new books or authors. For example, I'm not really a huge fan of mystery thrillers, but I read two this month that I actually really enjoyed. I gave them both 4 stars, I think. If I start off the month saying, okay, I got this prompt, I have to read a mystery thriller, and this is the exact mystery thriller that I have to read, I don't feel like that's going to be helpful in the long run for me to fulfill the prompts, get through this game, because as you've probably seen, there's a lot of spaces to go through. And if I roll a lot of low numbers, I could be putting a lot of books on my TBR every month. And if I choose a book and I go to start reading it and I don't enjoy it, or I'm actually just not interested in reading that particular book at that particular time, I'm not going to finish my prompts. And this game is going to quickly turn into work and not make me want to read, or at least not play the game. With that said, I decided not to pick up 3 books that I assigned for myself at the beginning of the month, but I still fulfilled all of the prompts. Just a quick clarification for the second rule change. For example, last month, I got the prompt, read a book that's chosen by your partner. My husband chose Dune by Robert Herbert, and that's the book he chose. So I could not choose a different book, because if I chose a different book, then obviously I would not have been fulfilling the prompt. The only times that I'm going to allow myself to switch out different books is if the books still fulfill the prompt. If the books don't fulfill the prompt, then it doesn't count. With that said, let me just go over very quickly what I read last month for my prompts, the choices that I made to switch out, so that we can get to the rolls. All right, roll number 1. And we got a 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
And that means a mystery thriller. For my first space, I got a mystery thriller prompt. So I'm going to end up reading The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I believe it's a similar premise as And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, where a bunch of people go to an isolated island and murder and mayhem ensue. The previous two mystery thriller novels that I read in January have the same premise, where people go to an isolated area, and because they're isolated, things happen that are scary. So I'm excited to pick this up. It should be a fun read.
Roll number 2. That's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greenery space means nonfiction.
For my second roll, I got a nonfiction space. So I'm going to be reading Epic Ideas That Changed the World, A Shot in the Arm by Dawn Brown. This is part of a collection of graphic nonfiction books. Each book in the series deals with a technological innovation or something that changed the world forever and makes it accessible for middle graders to pick up and enjoy.
Roll number 3. That is a 3. 1, 2, 3. A succulent means horror.
For my third roll, I got a horror prompt, and I decided to read Horrid by Katarina Lano. This is a young adult book, and as far as I know, it's about a young woman who goes back to her mom's hometown, and she's trying to, be a teenager, make friends, go to school, but there's also all of these horror elements that are going on within the story. I think this is a haunted house narrative. I know that there's a storage closet in the house that she's living in that she isn't allowed to go in or is off limits in some way. And it turns out there's actually more going on to the history of the house than she originally realized.
Roll number 4. We got a 16.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
A blue means a classic or literary fiction.
For my fourth roll, I got a prompt of reading a classic or a literary fiction novel, and I actually decided that I wanted to use my mood read reward that I got at the beginning of the game. And so instead of reading that, I would really love to read Julius' House Goes Home by Ben Hatke. This was actually on my 22 books that I would like to read in 2022 list. Julia is very kind and hardworking, and she does everything she can to make a home for all of these monsters and mythical creatures. I love Ben Hatke's stories. I love his artwork. I am very excited to pick this up.
Roll number 5. 14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Red or pink means romance. Yes.
For my fifth roll, I got my favorite genre, romance. I'm so excited. And I'm going to read Cheer Up, Love and Pom Poms. This has been on my TBR for such a long time, and I just really want to prioritize reading it. It's so short. It's a graphic novel. The artwork just looks so cool. This is obviously a sapphic romance about two girls who become cheerleaders at their school. I'm anticipating it being very sweet, very straight to the point.
Roll number 6. And that's a 3. 1, 2, 3. Greenery means another nonfiction.
For my sixth roll, I got another nonfiction space. So I decided to pick up another picture book, and I'm going to read Ready to Fly. This is a biography about Sylvia Townsend. She became the bookmobile ballerina. So I'm assuming this story is about her running a bookmobile for her local community and also teaching the kids that she comes across ballet. I don't really know a lot about Sylvia Townsend, but I'm excited to read this with my child so I can learn more about her.
Roll number 7. That's a 12. That'll take me all the way to my last space, so we get to draw a TBR card. All right, let's see what we get. A BIPOC author. Awesome.
For my last roll, I got a TBR card with the prompt of read a book by a BIPOC author. So I decided to pick up Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo. As far as I know, this is about this man who is a spy for his country, and he has to go on a mission where he has to infiltrate an elite private school, but he obviously needs a kid to enroll in said private school. So he has to find a fake wife, a fake kid, so that he can complete his mission. I'm really trying to get into more manga, and the premise of this just sounds so fun. Thank you so much for watching the second video of my TBR game. I really hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Let me know in the comments below what you're going to be reading for the month of February. Hopefully I gave you some good recommendations, and please feel free to give me recommendations too. I'm always looking for another good book.